leader, drives it out of the ballpark. So here comes Connor Weigman, the sophomore. Many people project him as a first-round NFL draft pick, whether it's the next draft or the draft after that. He's not thinking about that right now, Kirk. He's just thinking about reestablishing himself as an Aggie.
No doubt about that. Just a quick scouting report on him. We keep talking about how he's a drop-back guy, and this system with Colin Klein coming over from Kansas State. We'll talk more about that and how sophisticated that system is. This guy's an athlete, great baseball player most of his life. Now is here as a quarterback and really feels that he has great command in this new system.
Both programs have gone to the transfer portal to add playmakers at the receiver position. We'll feature them tonight. Le'Veon Moss is the back to the right of Weigman. Noah Thomas, the top target, goes in motion. And Weigman looks across the middle and zips a strike for a first down out to the 40s. He finds Cyrus Allen for 15.
Well, great job. He gets pressure. Came late. He looked out to his left, wanted to get the ball maybe thrown out to the flat. Notre Dame took it away. Does a good job coming to his second option there on that glance route and got it out in a hurry under pressure.
Colin Klein calling the plays, and right away using tempo here. Not something he featured all that often at Kansas State, but he's a respected offensive mind. Here's the impact players tonight when the Aggies have the football.
That's right. Noah Thomas, who is at 6'6", number 3, 6'6". They're going to move him around. You'll see a couple different backs. Zamari Daniels, 5, does a nice job in that backfield. Jack Kaiser, it's his turn. JT Bertrand moves on to the NFL. 24 becomes that guy now in the middle of that defense. And Benjamin Morrison could be the top corner, one of the top corners in all of college football.
On second down, they feed Moss, and it's going to be tough to run against this Irish defensive front. The Aggie offensive line is massive. Trey Zune's a third-year starter on the left tackle. DeSantis, Naboo, Reed Adams, and Crownover.
And some experience there, a couple portals, center and right tackle. And I'll tell you, these first few snaps, these guys are excited to be able to hit other players in other colored jerseys. They are flying around.
Third and long is going to be tough for both offenses tonight. They need 7. There's a flag before the snap. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Allen. Covered by Morrison, who's been a lockdown corner.
Offside. Defense, number 5. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Boubacar Traore jumps, and then he'll make it 3rd and 2 now.
Watch that snap count, the hand. Boom. Hard count right there. And it's not like Aaron Rodgers using his cadence, in an environment like this, even with them having the ball, just using that hard clap. Now it's much more manageable for Colin Klein instead of being back 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. Now they're at 3rd and 2.
Bunch left, quarterback run, a huge part of Colin Klein's attack, of course, going back to his playing days, by the way, with the Wildcats. Handoff, and getting to the edge is Moss, and he scoots into Irish territory for a first down.
Nice job of getting that ball out on the edge. Really good block by Reed Adams, the right tackle. He's able to kind of squeeze that defensive end, push him to the inside, and then it was really just about the speed there to be able to pick up that first down.
Pre-snap penalties. Freeman says we must avoid them. He was thinking more about the offense, but that was a costly 5-yarder on 3rd and 7. Moss hammers ahead, limited to about 2 yards. He's a junior. We'll see another junior, Amari Daniels, out of Miami, rotate in. So Emmitt Smith on the field. His son, EJ, comes from Stanford. He's hoping to get a couple carries tonight as well.
Absolutely. Boy, that hole, by the way, opened up nicely. That thing had a chance, but he ended up running into Naboo, his right guard, right in the hole. That was an easy 7 or 8 yard gain.
Daniels into the game now. Once again, it was a flinch, but the Irish defensive lineman got back. It was Riley Mills who came across.
He got him again with that hard clap.
Each side pointing at the other side.
I think Notre Dame, Mills ended up jumping off sides. Like the offensive lineman reacted to him.
Offside. Defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Again, watch the hands. You worked all camp. Boom, hard snap right there, hard count with the clap. See Naboo actually reacts. Reed Adams reacting to Mills.
Second and 4. First down, second down calls so crucial tonight because they want to stay out of those third and longs.
Big cushion right here.
Pressure off the edge. Weigman gets it out, gets it complete to Trey Watson. And the big tight end is a first down inside the 25. They beat the corner blitz.
Yeah, they sure did. They brought the blitz. Schuler's back here as a safety. The blitz comes from right here. Look how much room the big tight end has to work. Watson, nice job of getting underneath him, and really good recognition by Weigman there on that blitz from the boundary from the corner Morrison.
18-yard gain. Sharp start for Weigman. This time good protection. Time to survey. Steps up. He can scramble. Not a speedy dude. He's more of a north-south scrambler, but he can make a defense pay. Heinisch forced him out.
Yeah, Colin Klein, I think, really likes the skill set that he has to work here, and he does such a good job of adapting. He made a point of emphasis to us in our meeting. It's not like he just has a system and this is what I do. I'm going to adjust like all good play callers do to my quarterback and to what my guys do best. But I think you're going to see as this season goes on, he and Weigman have a great relationship, really a lot of rapport on how to play that position and how to take advantage of defenses.
Klein would love to be in this world. 2nd and 3. Irish looked like they were going to come offside. Stayed on that time. Pressure immediately. Weigman flips it into traffic. A dangerous throw. Falls incomplete.
He was just trying to get rid of that with the pressure that time. Traore, right? Yeah, he got right into his face. Just for fans, like that hard count with the hands and getting Notre Dame to jump a couple times, almost they flinched there a third time. What that does, beyond giving you 5 yards, that's going to slow down that defensive line. It's going to help the offensive linemen get angles and leverage on run plays, and it's going to slow down the pass pressure because they're a little hesitant making sure that ball is snapped.
E.J. Smith is in the game for the first snap here on 3rd and 2. Weigman looks to the flat and it's off his fingertips. So Emmett's son could not collect it. Jaden Osbury from the backup position provided the pressure, and here comes a field goal attempt.
Yeah, Notre Dame brought the blitz. See that blitz right there. So, hey, that's the ball. That's where that ball needs to go. Just out a little bit too far in front of Smith to set up this field goal.
Randy Bond, who just got his degree, Kirk, in aerospace engineering this month. Not a dummy.
That's how you do it.
Very accurate kicker, a veteran. From 34 to give the Aggies the lead. Drives it right through. So Texas A&M, aided by 2 penalties, moves it, has combined 6 starts among the 5 starters. 2 guys have started 3 games, Kirk, and 3 guys making their debut as starters, including a true freshman at left tackle, Anthony Knapp.
Story of the game. That's the story of the game in this atmosphere.
Jared Zirkle over from Georgia to boot it away. He's a very, very talented guy who's going to try to protect Riley Leonard, who has full confidence in, I think, everybody on his roster, including himself tonight. He seems completely undaunted by this challenge, which you'd like to have in a leader.
Oh, of course. No, I think that's what he brings to the table, but with the inexperience up front, very talented, inexperienced offensive line. They've got to have success on 1st and 2nd down. They've got to avoid those 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8 situations. So how they run the football and how they get their quick pass game going here early, I think is big to take some of the heat off of Riley Leonard and that offensive line.
Jeremiah Love is the back. Jaden Harrison goes in motion. Riley flips it in the flat, and that is Love, who can't get away from Javon Thomas, who steps in as a starting corner tonight. Short game. One of the impact guys you get tonight.
Yeah, we've got a couple at Notre Dame. It's hard to really, week 1, figure out who the main guys are, but I went with Love out of the backfield. And Knapp is a true freshman at left tackle, who Chris just talked about. Nick Scorton comes over from Purdue, where he had 10 sacks a year ago. And Torian York, this guy's a true sophomore captain on the Texas A&M defense. That says it all. He's like a coach on the field, 21.
He's wearing the helmet to get communication from Jay Bateman.
Riley Leonard steers pressure with York off to his left.
Play clock at 3, low snap, through the timing off. He gets it underneath to Jaden Greathouse, and the receiver gets a first down, picks up 8.
Yeah, great job of keeping his composure here. Watch the snap. Snap is down low. I thought it was just a good job to handle the snap, but then the composure to kind of look downfield and try to find the receiver. And Greathouse does a nice job of settling in that open spot where the vacancy of those linebackers was.
Greathouse, one of the 6 Texans who will figure tonight for Notre Dame, comes from Austin. On first down, Love has to stutter step in the backfield. That's not what they're looking for on first down, just a yard into the heart of that defense, and that was Marcus Ratcliffe filling.
Yeah, and you better be careful. That zone read look they just gave you, he's going to pull that eventually, and he's going to go around the edge. They really collapse down. Go back to that snap. This is a big play because it got it first down, but it gives you an idea about the experience and composure of this quarterback in this atmosphere.
2-by-2 look. It's a Love in the slot to the right. Leonard looks that way, throws it into traffic, catch made, and then the immediate hit on Faison by Will Lee.
Yeah, Will Lee's an interesting guy. Steps in. He had 9 starts at Kansas State. Had a tendency to give up some shots downfield, but I thought Jay Bateman, a defensive coordinator from A&M, made a good point. He said, last year he played a lot of off coverage. With us, he's going to be pressed. He's going to be playing a lot more man. We're going to leave him on islands. You can see how twitchy he was there to change the direction to make that play to set up this third down.
Mike Denbrock came from LSU, where he directed the all-world Tigers offense with Heisman Trophy winner Jaden Daniels a year ago. Let's see what he calls here on 3rd and medium. Leonard trying to escape. Excellent scrambler. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Slides down. A flag comes in on the hit. He went down low. He did pick up first down yardage right at the 50. Let's see what the ACC crew of officials has spotted there. He was getting a block on the edge.
Yeah, I think they're going to talk about the hit that came in late, leading with the helmet on 25 that came in there, Dalton Brooks. That's what I think it was. That's where the penalty came in.
Brooks, is sophomore, part of a secondary that has come to the question marks of this team.
From the right. See how he lowered his head?
Defense number 0. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. The targeting is under further review.
Bill Lamagna, happy to have him joining us in the booth. Bill, how did you see this as they review this, the ACC Replay Center?
No question, we've got a late hit because of the feet first slide. And he does come in because he's defenseless now. He does get him with forcible contact to the head neck area.
So this isn't a crown of the helmet issue.
No,
this is
a hit to the head neck area of a defenseless player.
He did say number 0 to Scooby Williams. I think he meant 25.
Yeah, 25 is
he
the guy who
correct
hit
that.
Yeah.
Replay can correct that.
Yeah, they'll need to. If it is targeting, of course, it's an ejection. And already they don't have Jaden Hill, who's a nickelback who plays, because he was suspended when he played for Florida State last year, or Florida against Florida State.
That's crazy.
Misses the first half.
Chris, let's go back to, keep talking about the young offensive line. This is the first real third down. Knapp is a true freshman out here. So how's he going to do against Scorton, 11? Third down, you know that pressure's coming. Give him a place to step up. Now this is the experience. Even with the spy there with 0, Scooby Williams, he's able to get out of there. So we all talked about who's got the advantage on third down. The head coach, Mike Elko, defending his former quarterback, or the quarterback?
Is confirmed. Texas A&M number 25 is the fouling player, and he is disqualified.
So it's a 9-yard scramble. They tack on 15. The Irish will be at the 35-yard line, and starting safety for the Aggies is out.
Yeah, they got some depth there, but you know, there's a reason he was starting tonight. Just again, I just want to emphasize that time on that third down, the quarterback saw it, wasn't confused, stepped up, and was able to get to that first down marker. Then you tap on the 15 at the end. Little teaching opportunity there for Mike Elko and Dalton Brooks.
Jadarian Price into the backfield. And this is the tight end Cooper Flanagan who comes across the formation. And now comes back. And penetration quickly by the Aggies. Ratcliffe got him. Will Lee off the corner. They'll lose yardage on first down.
And Ratcliffe just came into the game because Dalton Brooks has been thrown out of the football game, and he's over on the sideline saying he sees the look that he wants because of this motion coming back. Watch his quick reaction. Tell you, these safeties and these defensive backs, they are not hesitating. They're getting downhill in a hurry against these quick passes to the perimeter and the run game.
So the Irish behind the sticks on second down. That's a pattern they need to quickly reverse. Leonard from the pocket, looping throw, miscommunication. Breaking off the route was Faison, and now it's 3rd and 13.
Yeah, definitely a miscommunication. Faison turns to the inside, and clearly Riley Leonard's expecting this ball to work to the outside. One-on-one matchup, work outside there, away from that defender, and maybe a chance. But again, week 1, miscommunication, hostile environment, but now a big 3rd down and long. Now the rookie left tackle has Shamar Stewart, who's 6'6", 290, lined up against him out here on the outside.
They're in very marginal field goal range. If they can't get the first down, they'd love to get it closer. And they get it in the flat there. Bo Collins, the Clemson transfer, gets near the marker before he's dragged down at the 26 by Lee. It'll be 4th down at about 3.
Really smart call on the road. First time you have the football, you're trying to get into field goal range. Quick, easy, simple throw. Get it out there and let Bo Collins do some damage after the catch. Get some good blocks up front. See the tight end, Mitchell Evans. And all of a sudden, you're in field goal range. And you give your kicker a shot here to tie this game up.
Jeter was very accurate at South Carolina. 12 of 14 a year ago. Only missed 2 in his career. This from 46 yards within his range to tie the score. Low kick, and he drives it right through. So penalties in the defense, a factor in each of the opening possessions for these teams. He was saying among the things that could be an intangible tonight, you get a team from the north. I know it's been warm in South Bend, but nothing like this. It really prepared for this.
Nothing like this.
Jeter, who just tied the game, to boot it away. Bussey might not be busy tonight. That kick driven way over the goal line. 68 degrees in the studio where our buddy Kevin Nagandi is hanging out.
Yeah, time now for our Dr. Pepper Fansville studio update. And Chris Boog is jealous of that weather at Kyle Field. New conference, new quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, first Oregon touchdown.
I love a nice little pick play, accurate on time, touchdown Ducks.
Boog is sweating at 68 degrees in the studio.
I feel you, Herbie. I feel you.
He's sweating here.
Kevin, thank you. Oregon, Michigan, Alabama, some top teams all in action tonight, but heavy favored.
Oh, yeah.
Keep you posted.
Yep. Dylan Gabriel out of Oklahoma, now in Eugene, Oregon, the quarterback.
Second possession for the Aggies from the 25. Weigman has good protection. Long throw, but just out of the reach of Le'Veon Moss.
Now, Al Golden does a really good job of dialing up a lot of different looks. Very, very multiple. I think it's a great matchup with Colin Klein going up against Al Golden. You know, we keep talking about Mike Elko and the job he can do on 3rd down. Boy, Al Golden, his experience as a college coach, went up to the NFL with the Bengals as a linebacker coach, brings a lot of that NFL style with him into South Bend, now in his 3rd year with this system, along with Marcus Freeman.
Jet sweep. There's Bussey, the returner, who cuts it back. The Irish all over it. They string it out. It was Jalen Snead, the rover.
That took me back to the mid to late 70s with the tearaway jerseys. It wasn't the jersey, it was the T-shirt underneath. He got a good handful of it, just held on for dear life. That's some pretty good strength grip right there. Allow the rest of that defense to rally.
Bussey was wishing it was more tearaway because he did get slowed down by that. Brings up 3rd and 10. Irish crowd make a little noise here. Again, they jump off. Again, it's going to be a free play as Weigman launches down the sideline. It's broken up there, and now a flag comes in for a second Notre Dame penalty. Cyrus Allen was being defended along the sideline by Christian Gray, so offside and PI, it looks like.
Yeah, I think Jalen Snead jumped again. Weigman using that hard clap gets him to jump again for the 3rd time. See how frustrated Marcus Freeman is once them to mentally lock in there. Then the interference at the end. The official closest to it, he wanted to wave it off. He thought it was okay. It was a clean play. It was the official on trailing that actually made the call.
2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Offside. Defense, that penalty's declined. Pass interference, number 29. 15-yard penalty, and an automatic first down.
Yeah, that's the corner opposite of Morrison, the All-American. What do you think, Billy, on that call?
I've got the DPI on it.
You did?
Yeah.
Is it because of he didn't look till late and got his hand
late
on the
look,
receiver?
early contact on it.
Okay.
It's the 3rd penalty on Notre Dame's defense. That one stings when it's 3rd and 10. You're going to get off the field even if they hadn't
Yep.
spotted that, it was going to be 3rd and 5, but the automatic first down now to the 39-yard line. Handoff getting to the edge is Moss, and he falls forward. That's a solid first down pickup out near the 45.
I think Texas A&M fans are really going to love what Le'Veon Moss can do in this system. 6 feet, 215-pound junior. And he's physical, he's athletic, and he's versatile. They're going to move him all over the field. This gives you an idea of the athleticism to go up and over Jordan Clark there.
Little tempo on second down. The pass is complete to Ja'Day Walker. He is brought down right near the marker. He's going to be just short. Xavier Watts. Xavier, the top interceptor in the country a year ago.
Yeah, they're going to pull Christian Gray over and talk to him. Or actually, he's coming here to the wide side. Remember, Cam Hart moved on. He's no longer a part of this team, and everybody wanted to know who's the corner opposite of Ben Morrison going to be. Christian Gray has won the job, and here early in this game, I think Colin Klein trying to go after him on some throws to the field.
And 3rd and 1. Empty backfield now. Daniels motions back in. Weigman under center, and he'll sneak it as a flag down again. I don't know if the Irish were in the neutral zone one more time.
I don't know if A&M was set. I think the receiver on the right side didn't get completely set there. I think this one's going to go against Texas A&M. I think that's Ja'Day Walker in the slot.
False start. Offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Such a factor. There's no dress rehearsals in this sport. It's part of the beauty of college football. We all find out together what teams have got, but you expect miscues like this. This is costly.
Yeah, 9 on the top there. He just kind of getting settled in, a little miscommunication. You could see the frustration, and the ball snapped. He was looking over to his own sideline, trying to get the adjustment, but now instead of an easy quarterback sneak, we've seen this go the other way, make it easier. Now they go backwards. Now it's 3rd and 6.
Irish showing pressure, crowding the line. They bring pressure. Weigman backpedaling across the middle. Low throw is incomplete. Making the long run to get in his face there on the blitz was Jordan Botello.
Botello, but also the safety. Look how he just kind of, hey, I'm in coverage. Just kind of disguising, completely fools the offensive line with that different look. And because he had to pick up the blitz, it did free up Botello there to be able to get the pressure. Nice job by Weigman buying time, dropping, doing everything he can to give himself a chance. But Notre Dame just too much pressure and good coverage downfield. So
the very costly false start and potentially a costly moment here is Mark Nabu, the starting center for the Aggies tonight, who's being looked at by the athletic training staff. Those pre-snap penalties, both coaches talked about it in an environment like this. The Aggies are excited too. They're not battling the crowd noise, but they're trying to keep their poise.
Yeah. Go back to what Marcus Freeman said to Holly Rowe. It's about the next play. You know, all coaches talk about that. Marcus, he traveled around the NFL, visited with a lot of GMs and head coaches, and I think a lot of them kept echoing the importance of culture and being able to adapt and move past a negative play. That's getting challenged tonight.
Nabu, they've taken that brace off of his left knee. Junior from Washington State. One of the massive Aggie offensive linemen. All of them at least 315 pounds. Is a big edge. Notre Dame's defensive front is athletic and quick, but not among the biggest. Looks like he's able to at least walk off.
So that false start by the receiver pushes him back, and now instead of that first down to keep it alive, now they're going to give the ball back to the Irish.
Punting could be important. This could be a defensive field position kind of game, and both punters are debuting in college football tonight. This is true freshman Tyler White from South Lake Carroll. Powerful program, and gets it away and drives it beautifully into that breeze, and the fair catch made by Faison back at the 12-yard line.
Well, I'm here on the sideline with Riley Leonard's backup helmet so that we can listen into the communication system that the quarterback is hearing right now. I've listened to Coach Denbrock give him those commands, and they are very short and efficient, an economy of words. He will give him tempo. He'll remind him of down and distance. I'm trying to listen in right now, see if we can get the play call. Typically, they're cutting it off at about 25 seconds. Now, they have to cut it off at 15, but they are giving Riley a little time to process, call the play, and let his fellow linemen know what's happening. I'll keep you posted on what I hear
Holly,
next.
I tell you what, you talk about trust. Holly's down there with a helmet, listening to the plays.
Well, the play was quarterback keeper as Leonard rolls to his right. What do you make of it? I mean, these guys are quarterbacks that haven't played a ton of football. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, but I think they've gotten so many reps, you know, and Holly's dialed in there. She's getting a call here. He's got till 15 seconds to be able to get the communication. If you get up quick enough, Holly, he can talk to him right now. Tell him the coverage. Tell him what to look at.
Okay, he just cut it off. See how much time they're giving him to actually process before the play. Not everyone's going to do it exactly this way, but I love that he's reminding him of down and distance and tempo plus the play clock.
Holly, I just say you throw that helmet on.
Ooh. Inaccurate throw, almost intercepted, tried to find Bo Collins.
They brought that pressure. Nobody picked it up right in the middle. Offensive line, again, that youth, inexperienced, talented. That time just a miscommunication to be able to get that pressure right into the face of Riley Leonard.
They practice with that helmet in crowd noise in practice, but it's been tough for quarterbacks. You can already tell in the early season when the crowd is really deafening to hear clearly. Devin Ford the back on 3rd down and 7.
It's his third down of this game.
Pressure. He spins free, and Leonard short arms the ball. Had he been able to get it out there, Ford was wide open, but Ryland Kennedy off the edge provided the pressure, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Kennedy is stacked right here, and again, see how they have a defensive lineman here, they have one out here, one out here. That puts a lot of pressure on the offensive line to figure out which guys are coming besides those 3, so you're kind of guessing and waiting to see who comes, who's showing, who's dropping. Nobody again picks up the pressure. Kennedy comes free. How about the effort by Riley Leonard? Somehow keeps that play alive and almost came up with a big play.
First punt for the Irish, and James Rendell, 24-year-old from Australia, makes his college football and American football debut. He wanted to get it off just quickly. It's kind of a knuckleball, not very pretty, but it's going to get a decent roll down to the 37. Imagine his heart rate. He played Aussie football, but is brand new to this sport. Never
this atmosphere, right? Heck of a way to get started.
Tomorrow night on ABC, you guys are off to Vegas. Reese Davis in the booth. I'm back to the U.S. Open. How about this one? SC and LSU in Allegiant Stadium.
Cannot wait to see that. Lose Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels off to the NFL. One guy won the Heisman 2 years ago. Daniels wins it last year. Both these coaches in their 3rd year. It's going to be exciting to see how that one goes. Maybe one of the best, if not the best matchup, maybe the entire weekend.
6:30 Baton Rouge time, 4:30 in L.A. First down handoff. Moss hammers ahead off the right side. On the other side, Jack Kaiser is wearing the helmet. Now Golden communicating with the graduate linebacker, who then can relay things to his teammates. He's number 24. See right there at the first down stripe, signaling. Weigman, pump fake, has time, makes a cut, and will scramble and dive for a first down out near midfield before Kaiser got him down. That's what he can do.
A little confusing by Jaden Osbury here in the middle. You see his head turn, ball's about to be snapped. You can see Kaiser, everyone's trying to get on the same page because they go to this empty look. And because of that, he clears everybody out. There's no one except Kaiser there to be able to account for the quarterback. So that empty look that time, for whatever reason, really caused an issue for the communication and the backers to get everybody on the same page.
So a couple scrambles for Weigman. Moves the sticks again. Walker on the jet sweep, has a lead blocker. It's a nice play design for Coach Colin Klein, and they pick up 7. 6.
And this is a kind of a wrinkle here that Colin Klein likes to do. He's going to pull linemen this way. Usually that's an indicator for these guys to think the ball's coming this way. So you read the lineman. Okay, follow the ball. It's going this way. Instead, it goes the other way. Again, a little wrinkle to mess with the minds of those linebackers.
7-6. You got a lot of options if you're Colin Klein, the playbook, to picking up a nice gain. Once again tries the left side. Touchdown Hill. And behind that big offensive line, they move to 6 again inside the 40.
Yeah, this time they pull the center and get out in front. This is if you're an A&M fan, this is kind of what I think this offense is going to look like this year. A little bit of everything. Good job of winning the line of scrimmage, getting behind the center, 61. Nice crease there. Now you go to the pass.
Weigman again takes a look, comes back to the left, and the throw is low and incomplete towards Cyrus Allen.
You're seeing multiple formations, different personnel groupings. You're seeing a ball run to the outside. You're giving different indicators for the linebackers, false reads for them. There's a lot when you try to unwrap this offense when it comes to the defense communicating and making sure they're not going to bust a gap and give up a big play.
He transferred from Utah. I missed the Pac-12. He's the backup center now. And the handoff again. This time it's Daniels, and he muscles down near the 32.
I'm going to let you say that name again there, Chris, because he's a part of a really nice double team here with Reed Adams. He picks up the blitz right in the middle. Jack Kaiser is able to try to get pressure, but nice job by your guy. Paiu in the middle there, picking that blitz up.
So, as expected, plenty of defense. Each team with a field goal on the board after the end of the first. Long anticipated collision on opening night. Just the 6th ever meeting between these programs. And the first in 23 years. Quarter begins with a 3rd and 3 for the Aggies. And that time the Irish are pointing across at Texas A&M. Another one of those pre-snap penalties. This will back them up and make it a much tougher proposition on
False
3rd.
start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's Chase Pizantis. Holly talked to Mike Elko moments ago.
Coach Elko, it's been a while since your quarterback was under center and playing. What have you seen with him and his operation so far?
Yeah, I think he's doing good. I think he's managing the game well. I think he's a couple throws we'd like to get a little bit more on target, but I think for the first quarter, first time back, he's doing really well.
Can your center return?
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
So 2 penalties on 3rd down for this Aggie offense. They need 8 now. Weigman in the flat. Catch made by Walker, who loops around but does not get near the marker. Stopped at the 32 by Donovan Heinisch. And his 4th down. Here comes the field goal team.
I love how Schuler, who's a new starter for this defense, how he comes in and forces this ball back inside right there. He didn't make the play, but he took away the outside opportunity, leveraged the football back to the middle where the rest of those white jerseys could fly to the ball. He reacted quickly. That's a nice play there by 8.
Andy Bond, the experienced kicker, said, hey, it's pretty breezy down here pregame. It didn't bother him. It's kind of unusual. It doesn't usually get that windy inside this cavernous stadium. Kind of swirling. And this field goal will sneak inside the left upright, and the Aggies will reclaim the lead. Nice.
Helping that defense out. And I think a big part of the reason he got this opportunity is because of what you just saw on that list. He is a defensive mastermind in this sport.
Zirkel's kick sails over the head of Harrison. Now, Elko's kitchen, he steps into the ingredients were not quite as robust as he's got now. The average recruiting rank before he got there, 58. They had some 4- and 5-star recruits, and they made some mac and cheese and a couple of 8-win seasons. Did really well. ACC Coach of the Year a couple of years ago.
You're not eating mac and cheese.
Look at the ingredients in this kitchen. A lot more to work with. All those hyped recruits. But he said, Elko's kitchen's not going to be built around recruits or facilities. You got to develop grit and cohesiveness and accountability. And those have been the main mission since coming here.
No doubt. I'm eating at Duke's training table. You're definitely eating at A&M.
I like it rare, please. Riley pulls it, tried to get it in the flat, but his tight end, Eli Raridan, couldn't really get free. Ryland Kennedy brought the pressure.
Chris, you're right. I think, we all love Jimbo Fisher. It didn't work out. The last couple of years, things got sideways. And I think Mike Elko brings accountability, work ethic, discipline, and it's who he is. And he's going to demand that from his team, and he's going to demand that from the culture that he's going to create here in College Station.
He says you don't become a national brand elite with facilities and recruiting. It helps, but it's on-field grit and toughness, which is what he's trying to bring. Crowd really noisy on 2nd and 10. They bring pressure late. It's picked up, and the pitch is made to the perimeter, and that's a nice completion for a first down. Got by Chris Mitchell.
And Mitchell is known from FIU in the transfer portal as a guy who can go vertical. Look out to the right. You think he's going deep? Nope. Puts the brakes on. Ball's out early and away to the outside. Perfectly thrown ball that time by Riley Leonard, and great timing that time against that blitz.
He's their fastest receiver. Led Conference USA in receiving yards a year ago. Leonard again climbs the pocket and flips it short. Jaden Thomas makes a catch, and he dives across midfield.
Chris, how about that? Everybody wants to see this guy. Yeah, I know he can run, but what can he do as a passer? How about this? Working through progressions. Watch his head. Left, step up, eyes downfield, finds his man. Well done.
Irish pass game getting some chunks now. Picked up 13. That's one way to quiet huge crowd.
Absolutely. He seems to be settling in here. Remember, working with that young offensive line. Left tackle's a freshman.
3-man rush. Takes off quickly that time. It ran right into traffic. No gain as he stopped by Nick Scorton.
Yep.
Big Ten's leading sacker a year ago at Purdue.
10 sacks a year ago. Going up, I just said it, against a true freshman. Here he is. Watch the spin move that frees him up. He's like a seasoned pro with the veteran experience. Went to college at Purdue. Right here, local kid. Went up to Purdue as a Mike linebacker. Put 50 pounds on. And now he's back home playing defensive end.
He didn't like the Aggies growing up. He likes them fine now, and he's helped guys around him improve with his intensity in practice. Jaden Harrison nowhere to run after the catch. In fact, he's forced out for a loss.
You want to see how to defend those quick throws that so many college teams do. Tyreek Chappelle, he just showed you exactly how to do that. Number 7 out here on the outside. You see this all the time. Okay, we got a bubble. Throw it out there. You see how he got off that potential block from Jaden Thomas? Got to the outside. Beautiful play that time defensively.
Scorton, Shamar Turner, Shamar Stewart, Cassius Howell, a transfer from Bowling Green. These guys looking to get after Leonard right now on 3rd and 13. Flushed. Tries to create on the run. SS a tuck it, and he's pushed out for another short loss. Scooby Williams gave chase, and the Aggies rise up and get a stop.
Well, again, you got the young offensive line. Look at his pressure. All these guys up top. Who's going to come? Watch this. They come here. They drop here. Affects the communication. Frees up that pass rush. Simulated pressure. And away he goes. We talked about it in the open. That's the storyline in this game for Notre Dame. It's not Riley Leonard. It's how they play in front of him. And right now, those 3rd downs, it's tough.
Scooby Williams, a guy who came from Florida along with Jay Bateman, the defensive coordinator. So James Rendell, the Aussie, to boot it away. The freshman Bussey waiting inside the 10. Got to hurry. I don't think they're too caught up.
Timeout.
In a delay of game. They did get the timeout just before. What you expected so far? I mean, these defenses making it tough on the quarterbacks.
I really wanted to see, and I think we all wanted to see that Notre Dame offensive line. Again, talented guys, just the communication aspect of it with this crowd noise. I mean, it's tough for veterans, and let alone these guys, and especially the true freshmen on the left side, Knapp. But as the game goes on, the in-game adjustments will happen. Talking with Nick Saban this morning on College Game Day, and any coach could tell you, week 1, you're kind of speculating. You know, think about A&M. You're getting ready for Texas, for Notre Dame's offense, and you're looking at Duke film because of, you know, what Riley Leonard did. You're looking at Mike Denbrock, and you're studying LSU film because of what he did last year at LSU. So it takes a first half to kind of settle in, go in, and make some adjustments.
In the portal, you got to look at 50 schools film to really get a beat on your opponents. It's true.
Especially these first couple weeks.
Rendell drops the point and boots it high. Bussey will field it at the 8, makes a couple guys miss, and spins down at the 17-yard line. Hard choice to focus on football when he had a chance to win the job his freshman year.
Yeah, I asked him if he was going to play baseball here, one of the perennial powers in college baseball. And he said his goal was to, but then once he had the injury and just about getting back here and being a quarterback for this football team.
Weigman 4 for 10, has run a couple of times for first downs from the pocket here, has plenty of time, and fires, intercepted. He threw it over the receiver's head, and Aiden Schuler has the pick. Tough Jersey kid. They said he needs to step up to join Xavier Watts in that secondary as a elite safety. That's a heck of a play.
You know what he's doing a good job of? He's been up and run support. This time he's going to sit back here in center field and read the quarterback's eyes. A lot of man coverage underneath him. Quarterback steps up. That is not an accurate ball, and instead you can see why he threw it with the receiver finally getting separation, but the ball sails on him over the receiver's hands and right into the arms there. The safety Schuler, who, like I said, is having a great game here tonight. It's his first start. Physical player. But there shows he can run, he can roam in center field and play very instinctively.
Irish offense set up inside the 30 after the first takeaway tonight. Love cuts back, knocked down after about 4 yards.
Safety.
They checked the tablet there. This is a new wrinkle too. Besides the communication in the helmet, you can check that tablet and do immediate teaching on the sidelines.
Yeah, that tablet is video. And in the NFL, as Marcus Freeman looking at it, the NFL it's just shots. It's a snapshot of the actual play. This is video in the college game this year that they're looking at. Notre Dame.
Hugely important, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's a run all the way. Leonard gets around the edge. He gets a couple of blocks, and then Convoy helps him dive forward. He's near the marker. There's a penalty flag down. Aggies are pointing at Notre Dame.
I think they had a holding there on the tight end. 87 that time. Cooper Flanagan got a hold of a jersey.
10-yard penalty. Second down.
Flanagan an increased role because Mitchell Evans, their talented pass-catching tight end, had an ACL in October, still not fully back and ready for complete action. There he is. When he's in there, man, he is a guy defenses have to account for.
Yeah, that's a huge miscue there. They had either it was going to be a first down, or it's going to be third and about a half a yard. Now you go way back, and they've got it in their minds. They got to capitalize on this turnover in plus territory.
2nd and 16 underneath screen. And trying to work free as Bo Collins does a nice job, gets bumped out, but they get a huge chunk of yardage back, makes it 3rd and short.
Pretty good after the catch there. Bo Collins, we all remember him in Clemson. He came in there with DJ Uiagalelei from the same high school, St. John Bosco out in L.A., and has settled in very nicely to this offense. Mike Dimbrock telling us this week, of all these new receivers, and they feel good about 6 of them, they think Collins could really have a big year.
Spidered him back farther than I thought, Kirk. So now it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Just a big tight end right there, Evans.
Leonard looking to the end zone, looping throw for Greathouse, and it's interference. A flag came in late. It was defended by Tyreek Chappelle, the nickelback.
He never turned his head to look for the football. And I'll leave it to Bill, who's the expert, but Bill, look at the corner. Tell me what you see.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7.
He's not playing the ball.
15-yard penalty.
Runs him off to the outside. Contact. Pass interference.
If he turned his head and was running stride for stride and had that same contact, what would the call be?
I'd leave it alone.
That's what I thought.
So that's a 4th penalty on 3rd down against this A&M defense. Crushing. And the Irish trying to cash in the interception, now have a 1st and goal.
And I talked about Evans. You just mentioned him. Rarian, and also Rara Idon is the big tight end on number 9. He's settled up on the left side. There he's in motion.
2 tight ends. Handoff. Love. That's not this big a part for Dimbrock as it has been in Notre Dame. They don't expect to run nearly as many 2 tight end sets this year.
No, I mean, we've seen him in a lot of 4 wide receiver looks tonight, if you include the tight ends when they flex out. But it's been a very different look here with this offense with Coach Dimbrock.
They've not gotten the running game going at all. 15 rushing yards in their 9 plays.
I think a lot of that, Chris, is they're outnumbered in the box. It's not just the line of scrimmage. Those safeties and backers are flying downhill, leaving the corners on islands.
2 tight ends and a receiver bunched right. Love motions out to the left. Leonard's looking that way. Loops to the end zone. And together miscommunication. Love turned the wrong way. The throw into the outside.
Yeah, he wanted a back shoulder fade there from the slot. Remember, Love is a running back, and they feel so good about they can match him up against safeties. Here he tries to go upfield, and the experienced quarterback, he's trying to push him away. You don't have a whole lot of room to go upfield. He's trying to push him in a way horizontally where he's got some room to work. But again, a running back trying to get out there into the slot.
It's 1 for 3 on third. Third and goal here. Play clock at 5. Leonard scrambling, tries to create on the move, fires into traffic in the end zone, and it's incomplete. Was trying to get Devin Ford, and an Aggie defender down on the field after the play. It's Nick Scorton, pass rusher who got awkwardly fell over a man as he was trying to pursue Leonard.
He's a great player. We keep talking about his ability to rush the quarterback there. Boy, Riley Leonard, he was getting away from pressure in the back of the end zone. The big tight end, Mitchell Evans, was there.
We always hate to see these injuries anytime when a guy, Lee's West Lafayette comes here 1 year at A&M.
I love that.
And is able to get up and jog off. Turned 20 just 3 days ago. Got a very extensive pass rush repertoire, almost 290 pounds, thickly built. We hope he can overcome this. In the meantime, the Aggies do get off the field. The Irish unable to cash in the interception for a touchdown, and Jeter a chip shot from 26 to tie the game again. So twice Notre Dame has answered an A&M field goal with one of their own. 6-6 midway second.
Stands are out of the sun. I was worried about them in that upper deck for most of the game, but we're good now up there.
Little Notre Dame green dotting this big place. Irish faithful a chance to come down here and get their first look at Kyle Field in a couple of decades. Bussey, first kick return of the night from the 2-yard line, and he's going to be stopped just short of the 20. Irish defense with Al Golden and all those veterans done well so far.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. I think they're really affecting not just this line, but Weigman really not selling into this game with his accuracy. Saw the interception. There's a great blitz here from a great distance, but Schuller's able to affect that one. Timing is off 4 of 11, only 42 yards, and here's the ball that got away from him. A little bit of pressure late, but that ball sails. Interception. There's Schuller again. Been showing up. Watts is the All-American, number 0. But boy, we've been talking a lot about 8, who's right now is roaming in center field.
Hand off and falling forward for a solid first down gain is Moss, stopped by Drake Bowen. Holly?
Guys, A&M does not give injury updates, but what I've observed is they did a ligament stability test with Nick Scorton on the field. He went into the injury tent for a brief period. He is back out on the bench talking with his teammates with an urgency as if he can return. I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Weigman throw, catch made. Allen curls and makes a first down across the 35. That's good news.
That is great news. Great report there from Holly. We get another offensive lineman now down from Texas A&M.
Already Mark Nebu, the starting center, has gone out. Faya has stepped in to replace him. This is Armand Reed Adams, the starting right guard. It's one first down on a third down conversion for each offense. Neither offense has gotten to 100 yards yet. Not surprised.
No, I'm not. I think this is what these week 1 big-time matchups are about when you have some inexperience on the offensive side of the ball. Notre Dame on the road. And to me, I keep talking about in-game adjustments, especially at halftime. Right now, Colin Klein, the offensive coordinator from A&M, he's trying to get his quarterback. They're playing at home. He's trying to get him to just settle in. They got to go back to running the football, giving those multiple looks. And on the other side, Mike Denbrock, because of this atmosphere and the youth at the offensive line, he's trying to come up with whatever plan he can. They had great field position and only came away with a field goal.
Big problem, the average third down yards to make for Notre Dame tonight, 9.2. That is never going to be successful against Mike Elko on the road especially. Reed Adams able to walk off. Big 330-pound junior. He went from Kansas. Weigman trying to begin a long march. And great penetration off the edge to make a tackle there. As Rod Hurd, the free safety.
And Rod, keep seeing these safeties, see the depth that they have on the back end. Schuler, Watts, this time Hurd, the transfer from Northwestern. He can play everywhere. Safety, nickel, corner, very versatile player right there. He's almost lined up in that money spot like a linebacker.
All complimenting the unanimous All-American from a year ago, Xavier Watts. Weigman, short throw across the middle. He led his receiver right into traffic. That was Walker. Dangerous throw.
Very, very dangerous. You like the route concept motion here. Get up and work across. You'll see the receiver coming in, Walker. He's just trying to get behind Noah Thomas, number 3. But you're right, that is into heavy traffic. It's got to be a very, very accurate throw to have a chance.
Morrison was closing in. So was Kaiser, 2 of the best defenders on the field. And now another 3rd and long. The Aggies, they need 12. Irish rush for Weigman, backpedaling, trying to stay alive, and he can't. He'll be sacked by Howard Cross III, one of those veterans on that defensive line. He's been doing that for a few years.
He is a great player. He's undersized, but he brings a pass rush element to the interior right here. Watch his swim move, goes right around the guard. Nebu, the center's over late. They rush 4. When you can rush 4 on 3rd down like this and play man coverage behind that with a couple safeties back deep, man, that is tough on a quarterback. Great job there by the big man, Howard Cross.
He tweaked a hammy early in practice. He's been a hamper, but he's healthy now, and you see he's kind of nimble for a dude who's thickly built.
Oh, doubt.
Got to hurry here. Play clock at 0. Tyler White, the true freshman, gets the boot away. It's a pretty good one. He plays on backpedals, and it's a tremendous roll as the Aggies stall, but they flip the field with a monster punt of 61 yards. 5-second hang time. That's how you do it.
In a game like this, right? It's all about field position.
Notre Dame thought we're going to have decent position. Not anymore. Boston College goes to Tallahassee with an Noles urgency to bounce back after the loss in Dublin. Capital One Labor Day kickoff on ESPN 7 Eastern. It's countdown, and then the ball game at 7:30 also on the app. Miami looks like the team to beat in the ACC.
Yeah, they look great. They look great today.
They went to the swamp, and they weren't worried about crowd noise. They went in there and destroyed the Gators. Irish from their 14. Price, he still cannot run into that heavy box with any success so far.
Now these defenders from Texas A&M winning the line of scrimmage, getting off blocks. I mentioned earlier the backers are getting downhill. They really don't feel the threat of the vertical pass game. Remember last year, Riley Leonard did not have a lot of success throwing the ball 20 yards or longer, completed only 23 of pass. His percentage was 23% downfield. So they don't fear that right now. They got to make them fear it to get them to back up.
Big emphasis for Notre Dame to create those downfield plays. That's a quick strike to Faison. Very shifty, electric athlete comes out of the slot. Thomas knocked him down. It's right near the marker. Great lacrosse player, just a superb all-around athlete.
Yep. He's hobbled
in the championship lacrosse team, by the way.
Yeah.
Hobbles off. Yeah. It is a first down. Bursting up the middle is Price, and finally a positive play. Runs through a tackle, still going deep into Aggie territory. Jadarian Price finally gets loose. There is a flag back near the line of scrimmage, so hold on.
Well, let's see what happens. Here's a block right here. It's just one-on-one. Ashton Craig's able to climb to that backer, and that time he has room to hit it downhill. But they're going to bring it back.
10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Takes away a 37-yard gain on the holding penalty.
Finally creased this A&M defense, and it's been that kind of night. You can see it on the facial expression of Marcus Freeman. miscues. He brought it up all week to us. Here's the hold right here. Just kind of talked about that block. I didn't realize he got his hands on the outside of the backer. Then he grabs onto the jersey. Great call there by the umpire.
Nick Scorton back in the game. That knee did not look to be serious, and this is great news.
Yeah, that's great.
First and 14 after the spot foul. They try Love off the left side, and he gets the edge. Jeremiah Love scooting down the sidelines is run out of bounds finally by Bryce Anderson, but suddenly the Irish ripping off chunks. This one will count for 29.
Yeah, nice kick out block here. Watch the guard do a nice job of being able to seal this to the inside. It gives him a little bit of room to work. Also, good effort there by the wide receiver who's getting involved in blocking. That was Bo Collins on that crack block.
Des Ricks, a talented corner, a transfer from Alabama, beaten around the edge there. And now from the pocket, Leonard zips it incomplete, intended for Mitchell.
You get that running game going, and then you go to those 1st and 10 passes. It puts your offensive line obviously in a much better position to be able to dictate and have a better chance in pass pro instead of swimming upstream in those 2nd and 9s and 3rd and 12s and 3rd and 9s. You get that running game going, and you can really start to change the way you attack offensively.
See what Denbrock calls here on 2nd and 10. And we'll keep it on the ground. And Love, nice work with some quick feet in the hole. Didn't look like he was going to have much space. Picks up about 10.
And we're all waiting to see who's going to be the back with Estime moving on to the NFL. Love is a guy that's a 10-700-meter guy, kind of a speed guy last year, put on about 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. They feel now this year he can become the complete back that they're looking for.
Yeah, you had to add stamina and strength to become an every down back. Audric Estime was that guy a year ago. Ivers trying to clean the lead before halftime. And another flag pre-snap. Every 5-yard matters when you're facing defenses as good as this, especially on the road. Pains looked on Freeman's face.
Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that's the true freshman Knapp.
Yeah, I think the snap came up late. I didn't think 54. Watch the left tackle. He watched the ball. I don't know. I mean, the ball came up late there, Bill. What do you think?
Well, the line moved.
Yeah, the whole line.
So it's a false start.
Yeah, the ball didn't come.
Got to blame somebody.
Yeah, right. Throw it on the rookie left tackle, the true freshman.
Behind the 6, 1st and 15. Devin Ford's the back. Around the end, they give it to Harrison, and he's going to be tracked down after a short gain by Torian York, the tackling machine.
Well, Mike Denbrock, as he's looking down, he's trying to figure out where to go. What can I do to help this offense out, get a little bit of footing? What I see is this is the best drive they've been able to put together. They're working more on the perimeter. That time a jet sweep. They've been able to get inside with some good blocking. Much better job by the offensive line controlling things at the line of scrimmage on this drive.
Picked up 7. 2nd and 8. Twice back in the game. They fake it to him. Leonard batted down to the line of scrimmage. That was Scorton. He got a hand up. Wherever he's gone, Mike Elko's defenses have been great at getting hands up and batting down passes.
You know, we just talked about him going out and being back out here. Remember, he was a middle linebacker in high school. That's what he went to Purdue as, so he's got some good instincts. That time just visually, he sees the quarterback release the ball, knows he can't get to him, and just gets that hand up to knock it down.
Once again, 3rd and long. This is right where they've averaged all night. They need 9. Leonard in the flat. Ford. Nowhere to run. The Aggies pursued, and Chappelle's got him down. And he's 4th down.
Well, Chappelle is a beautiful player, man. He is fun to watch. Watch this defense fly to the ball and be able to try to get off these blocks. They see the motion go back. They're just going to follow that. Ball's out in a hurry. Look at these guys flying. Notre Dame very tough to be able to pick up those blocks.
Offense on the field, not quite in Jeter's field goal range, so 4th and 8. Last play before the 2-minute timeout. if they even get it off. It looks like they're going to let it run down to 2 minutes and take this timeout to think about it. It'll be a pretty aggressive play call here.
Chris, interesting on this play before that 2-minute timeout. This is A&M, and they weren't making an adjustment. See that they had 10 defenders on the field, and the Notre Dame let the play end up, the 2-minute timeout ended up occurring, but they're going to not go for this. But maybe A&M catches a break there.
Rendell on to punt it. That seems like the sensible play. You don't make it, you're giving A&M great field position with a chance to take the lead before halftime. Rendell just kicks it high and very short. The backspin, and it's going to bounce. So you want to get out of the way of that if you're an Aggie. They came close to touching it. It's down to the 10-yard line. And you'd figure in a game like this, as badly as he'd like to get things going, Colin Klein will be pretty conservative with what he calls. Weigman's thrown a couple of passes into traffic tonight, and has the interception, of course.
Mike Elko coming down and talking with the offense here. I think this is one of those drives with all 3 timeouts. You kind of wait to see how it gets started. You know, if you hit it, you get a first down, and maybe you get a little bit of momentum, maybe you change your mind. But you kind of wait to see how these first couple plays go, because like you said, this first half has not been a great first half for this offense. Let's give a lot of credit, by the way, to the Notre Dame defense. They look really, really good.
Big time, as we expected.
Yep.
If the Aggies 10 yards in the second quarter, they can get a couple more to that total right there. Short completion to Walker. Immediate tackle by Jaden Mickey. So that was not what they're looking for. Let's see if they just try to bleed the clock down here. Notre Dame's got a couple of timeouts if they want to start using them. Ramaj Reed Adams, the right guard who left, is back in the game. And they hand it off Moss, and see if Freeman spends one.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he's right by the official there telling him.
So minute 17 from intermission. Let's check out what Kevin Nagandi's got in store for us at halftime. Kevin.
Chris, Kurt, thank you so much. Forward halftime report minutes away. Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagandi here in the new studio. Alabama's first game without Nick Saban in 18 years. They look pretty good. So does Ole Miss. So does Georgia. So does Texas. Incoming highlights coming your way. Michigan struggling right now. What's the difference? Well, how about no head coach? Different one. New quarterback. We'll have those highlights. What are you seeing in this game from the quarterbacks?
Neither offense is opening the playbook up. Both quarterbacks are kind of thinking and dunking. It's a defensive game so far. Which coach is going to allow the quarterback to push the football down the field?
Plus, Miami looking really good. A primetime performer coming your way. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Cam Ward really impressive. Kane's nasty on defense as well. So 3rd and 5. Whole bunch of folks crowding near the line. Moss is the back. Trying to draw him offside. That's how the Irish did. They've learned. From the pocket, short pitch, and the catch is made. Noah Thomas turns the corner, and the long, rangy junior receiver picks up 10.
Yeah, Jordan Clark did a nice job of reacting to that ball in the flat, but the ball is perfectly thrown out in front of the receiver. Rolled the dice there a little bit.
He did.
Deciding to throw that football because that's an incompletion. The clock stops. Notre Dame saves that one timeout and they get the football back in relatively good field position. But that conversion, no matter how this half ends, is big for A&M.
Maybe more by keep away. There's still a long way to go to get in your field goal range, but Weigman on the move, scanning downfield. He's going to take off and scoot for about 8. 1:05 to play.
And Notre Dame and Al Golden more focused really on the coverage downfield. Only rushing 3. That time we're bringing 4, but you're not seeing them come after the quarterback. They just don't want to give up that big play on the back end. Again, A&M, to reiterate, all 3 timeouts remaining.
And catch just the second first down they've had in the quarter. Moss makes a cut and muscles for a first down. Clock will stop for a second here at the 39-yard line.
You go back to that Notre Dame timeout after the second down call. You really could make the argument that A&M changed their perspective on how they're going to try to end this half based on having to throw the ball on 3rd down. Now they're They're thinking about trying to probably get into field goal range here after picking up that first down with still 58 seconds to go.
They spend their first time out.
And they were willing to just shut it down. And now they're thinking about trying to get points.
Downfield passing plays, Booger just mentioned, have been almost non-existent tonight. 32 plays each is one of those games with just not that many opportunities.
Sometimes it's you know, we all look at quarterback play and why aren't they throwing the ball downfield? I think we're also looking at the receivers against the secondary. Who can win? Like, who can get downfield? That was a huge priority for Marcus Freeman and his Notre Dame team when they got into recruiting. Like, who can we get to help our running game by being able to stretch the field? And that's the big question coming into this game for both these teams is who are our guys that can help us when it comes to having that vertical passing game?
Harrison, Collins, Mitchell, they've contributed, but not in a huge way so far. They bring pressure. And there's a downfield shot, but way over the head of Cyrus Allen, who was well covered. Morrison was right on him. Tough to beat him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is an example of why you're not having many completions downfield. By the way, you're going against maybe the top corner in college football. They move him into the slot for this matchup. He's stride for stride. I mean, he's in his hip pocket. He looks back. If that ball's thrown accurately, it's an interception. This is why you don't see that right bar, his hand using that bar on that right side. When you're in phase right next to the receiver, you can get away with that. Boy, he is really talented corner, number 20.
On second down, Weigman steps up across the middle as a low throw, and it's intercepted. And the man who shared the national lead a year ago, Xavier Watts, had 7 of them. Just the third Notre Dame player ever to lead the nation in picks, comes up with his first of 2024.
On top of that, Chris, I want you to see the communication. Here he is right here, and watch the route and watch how he comes off of one receiver, does a good job of slipping to the inside, and then the instincts. I mean, his vision is what makes him special when it comes to defending the ball in the air. Knew exactly what he wanted to do. You mentioned the 7 interceptions, and it backfires on A&M. They try to get aggressive, try to get in the field goal range, and now you get Riley Leonard in this offense, the ball near midfield.
Watts was once a receiver, tremendous instincts. And you talk about a combination of Benjamin Morrison and Xavier Watts in the same secondary, 2 serious Sunday guys.
That's a good starting point.
Look at the Irish too. They have the 1 timeout, 46 seconds to work with near midfield. Leonard checks it down. A flag is down. It's a loss after the completion to Price.
I think they're going to get a hold by the rookie going up against Scorton on that left side. He just pulled him down.
So that penalty, which had been far too frequent for Freeman's liking, may change their approach here, trying to do something before halftime. Tough ask.
Holding, offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Anthony Knapp beat out 2 guys who are far more experienced. He's, they think, a future star.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be talking about this guy later this year, and obviously into the future being one of the top linemen in college football. We're going to remember this night. I mean, everybody starts somewhere, and he's starting in Kyle Field against Nick Scorton and had 10 sacks last year in front of the home of the 12th man. It's all downhill from here.
First and 20 as the seconds tick down. The Irish taking a very cautious approach after that holding penalty backed them up. Love is muscled out of bounds.
Got some live legs, doesn't he? He's just begging to have a little bit of room to work.
So a couple of turnovers, a couple of picks by Weigman. This Irish defense, they have not been able to cash them in to touchdowns, and they're going to let the clock run out. Field goal duel in Kyle Field.
The ball downfield, but it's about trying to find. I think we saw some examples of just trying to find some rhythm. You know, getting the ball out, different formations, try to get the defense a bit on their heels. Right now, these defenses have the upper hand because they're playing with a lot of confidence.
Jaden Harrison came up and received the kickoff with the 5, bounced off a teammate, and is stopped at the 5-yard line. Tonight's playbook brought to you by Modelo. searching through that playbook for something.
Yeah, you can see 3rd and 7 here. They faced a lot of that. The pressure, the confusion, different looks. Nice job here by Mike Elko and Jay Bateman, the defensive side. Here's a 3rd and 13. Remember, you got an offensive line that came into tonight as a group with 6 career starts. So they're talented. They're just trying to figure it out, trying to gel. Nick Scorton here coming off the left side against the true freshman with a spin move. They've been averaging on 3rd downs. They're 3rd and 9.2. They got to have, again, better success on early downs to help out Riley Leonard.
Leonard 11 for 19, hasn't been sacked, hasn't thrown a pick, and finally finds the tight end Cooper Flanagan, who's trying to step in. Mitchell Evans hasn't been able to contribute tonight yet.
Yeah, he's more of an inline, traditional big tight end. That time they flexed him out, created a one-on-one matchup, and got him the football. That's kind of by the yards, ball thrown downfield. That's kind of what he did at Duke. Everybody wants to see him take that next step about getting the ball thrown downfield, but he needs help from his receivers.
Love didn't get anything. Stepping in there with Shamar Stewart, defensive end. Part of this defensive line that Mike Elko said NFL scouts told him, hey, we would trade ours for yours. That's a big statement.
Yes, it really is. And that time, his sheer size and quickness made the play.
And on 3rd down, the Irish try to run into that front, and they don't get it. Scooby Williams came up and made the hit. See where they spot this. I think it's going to be short.
Great effort here. Notre Dame going a little bit fast, just trying to give them an opportunity. Big hit there by Bryce Anderson, and it's cleaned up there. They stand on the field at 4.5 yards.
They got 9 yards on the first down completion and nothing on 2 runs.
And if you missed the first half, that's pretty much what was happening. A&M went in the line of scrimmage, and those linebackers and safeties flying down to help out in the run game.
There's no way he's going to snap it, is he? Play clock at 4.
No.
They can't possibly go for it at the +32 here in a 6-6 game.
Oh, Marcus Freeman frustrated. He thought they were going to reset the play clock.
Did they spend a timeout?
Yeah, they used a timeout.
I'm surprised they didn't just let it wind down. Kirk, I mean, come on. I mean, we applaud aggression in most cases, but you're at your own 34-yard line. You just been stopped 2 runs in a row.
Right. I know. But watch. Hey, Bill, you want to hop in here? What is he trying to? I mean, I know he's trying to get the play clock reset. What determines resetting the play clock? See, the official's kind of putting his arm out.
I don't see anything there that would have caused me to reset a play clock. So coaches,
what would though? Like, what did he think? Why did he?
Let's say that we misspotted the ball, or the officials had some error in how they were handling the end of the play.
That's all that would cause that. So he must have seen something to think he was going to get the clock reset.
If there was, I didn't see it either.
He knew it was 4th down. We would assume.
Oh yeah.
Clear about the down and distance.
Yeah. In a game like this, the timeouts really matter. They just used one.
I mean, maybe they can get the defense to flinch it. Leonard in the shotgun. This is an enormous moment if they actually run a play. And they will. And Leonard bulldozes for a 1st down and more. I'll tell you what, that is trusting your front when you haven't done a whole lot on the ground tonight.
It really is. Gutsy call. Love the aggressive nature. Watch the lead block right here. You're going to run that quarterback. They know it's coming. Heck of an effort there by Devin Ford to lead the way in there, and he got right behind him.
Leonard about 218 pounds, but that was physical. Now from the pocket, steps up and delivers over the head of Ford. Leonard's holding his right thumb after that run.
It's because Nick Scorton got into his face, and I think his follow-through might have hit the helmet there. Scorton 11 has been moving from left to right, that time against Emil Wagner, the right tackle. And he just pushed him, Reggie White style, back into the quarterback's face. So on that follow-through, he definitely came through and either hit his own lineman's helmet or maybe Scorton.
See if it affects the throw. Leonard does not want to come off the field. He doesn't care what it is. He's not coming out of the game after what he's been through in his career. Show pressure. Handoff right into the teeth of it. Price knocked down behind the line by Bryce Anderson. Here's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Let's see this follow through. There's Scorton right there. Yeah, he did hit the top of the helmet of the big man right away. He started to kind of feel it. How about these safeties, man? Bryce Anderson that time, elite speed, is just playing with no fear at all. both these safeties.
So you take the risk, you make the first down, and now you face another 3rd and long. 1 for 7 tonight, which is about what you'd expect given how long they've had to make here. Can he scramble and make it? Leonard weaving and is slammed down at the 50 short of the first down. You go for it again.
How much fun is he to watch, by the way, on 3rd down? Not much of a chance with this offensive line on 3rd down to give him much time. But here they are. Marcus Freeman not planking, not even thinking about it. This one's a little longer. Last one's about a half a yard. This one's about a yard, yard and a half.
Almost 2 yards. You're right. It's going to be really noisy.
Now does he go back to that, or does he show that, get the safeties up, and then try to maybe sneak by him?
Greathouse comes across in motion. Keeper again. Leonard lowers his head. It's close. It's going to depend on the spot. It's right at the Aggies 49. Scooby Williams made the tackle. Aggies think turnover on downs.
I think it's a first down based on that spot. I think he's got a first down. Look at that football.
It is right on the line to make.
How about Marcus Freeman coming out here, going for things twice in a 6-6 game?
Onions, as they say.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a bunch of looks at this. It's a huge play right at midfield. 11:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Play clock was running down.
They've almost phased out the chains. You know, talk about college football. You spot it and do it electronically.
Look at Love's trying to help out. Love missed his block. So he ends up trying to just push to try to help out.
Bring the 6 out. Of course, they can review the spot, Bill. Haven't had a definitive look to see that he didn't get it. Right at the 49-yard line, they stretch the sticks, and it is short. A&M makes a 4th down stop as Freeman's second gamble in the drive doesn't pay off. They're an inch short, and they'll take over at midfield.
Yeah, you're talking about a half inch to an inch. I mean, that was not very much. I personally, and I know it's risky, in a game where he's trying to get his offense to buy in, I don't mind this aggressive approach. Watch 4 on the right here, Love, who just kind of whiffs, allows the rest of the defense, especially on the outside, forces him back in, and now it's just about trying to push with everything you have. Great effort here by A&M.
He's trying to drive his legs, and the Aggies are lifting his legs off the ground.
It's one way to stop him.
Replay is stopped it for a review now.
All right, big fella. This is where you step in and help us out here.
Leonard's still being lifted off the ground. He's trying to point with his left hand. I got it. So where is the ball? His head is certainly across the 49. He's still alive right there.
Right there. Oh, boy.
Did the 3rd effort get the first down? Bill Lamagne's pointing first down.
First down.
Wow, Bill. You make that call, huh? That's a gutsy call. You make that call up here?
First down.
It's the replay center of the ACC in Charlotte that is involved here. This is an enormous review. Called on the field short, so it's got to be clear and obvious, does it not?
That view we had there that showed him
that like
body, ball over the line.
Almost didn't even matter where the ball was. His entire front of his body looked like it got across.
Bill, spotting is a very inexact science, is it not? We thought live it looked like he had gotten just enough. They run in from the side and spot it an inch short.
That looked a lot more on that last view.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Wow.
Well, not enough to turn it over, apparently, says the ACC replay center. So Leonard, as he was fighting and clawing to get there, is up an inch short.
I think that's a combination of Marcus Freeman trying to ignite something within his offense, going for it twice in his own territory, and also having confidence in his defense and being able to hold this Texas A&M offense in check.
He'll be frustrated when he sees that replay because it did appear that Leonard had got there. So the Aggies, of course, by far their best starting field position. And the Irish defense would love to step up and bail out their head coach and their offense, and they fly to the football again. Botello made the stop. Holly, what do you have?
Well, checking in with Mike Elko, he said Connor Weigman has to just relax a little bit. It's been a while since he played. Those 2 early picks in the first half were an issue. He said the first shot, he just went over his head, but the second, he forced the ball. I need him to relax. I also asked him about third down. Now Notre Dame is 2 and 8 on third down. He said, we are mixing up the packages and looks. They haven't figured it out yet. We're going to continue to be multiple on that down.
Weigman steps back. He's thrown the 2 picks, but he gets this one out, and Walker's got some room, and it's a first down inside the Notre Dame 40. You pick up 11.
There you go. Again, you're trying to beat the All-American corner. He's moved over into the slot. This is the matchup. Weigman's trying. He got separation. Ball comes out late. He's still able to come back to the football, and then with his size, make a nice play. 6'4", 205.
They run left with Moss. That's not Benjamin Morrison's finest play as a corner.
No, and they have, usually he plays out on the outside, but they have shown a lot of versatility and trust in him, move him wherever they want. It's based more really on matchups as much man coverage as they play. But he's been lined up in there on the inside quite a bit tonight.
Comes off the field now on 2nd and 9.
And Notre Dame, both these teams rotating, and a lot of bodies trying to stay fresh with this humidity into getting ready for the second half and once the fourth quarter hits.
Neither offense has run a whole lot of plays, but you're right, the conditions are tough. Weigman, quick look, and an inaccurate throw. He's trying to find Shane Calhoun, his tight end. It'll be 3rd and long again.
Yeah, Notre Dame again getting pressure. Riley Mills that time with his size, 6'5", really known for his ability against the run. But as a veteran that time, he got good outside leverage on that offensive guard, and just getting his hand up, I think, affected the accuracy of the throw from Weigman.
They were in fringe field goal range for Bond if they don't gain anything on this play. Any kind of gain will make it a more realistic try. And Moss cuts it back, doesn't get anything. 1.5 yards, and Don Schuler, who had the pick earlier, makes the play.
Yeah, Patello got upfield, boy. He forced that ball back to the inside, and he came all the way from the offense's right side and got into the backfield. A heck of a play. And now here they are with A&M with 4th down and still out there with their offense.
Not going to try what would be about a 53-yard field goal.
Maybe a pooch punt here.
You need 8. Well, they tried to get Notre Dame to flinch. That happened a lot in the first half. Irish held their water that time, and a downfield throw hits the turf.
Notre Dame sideline, you'd think they just scored a touchdown. That is called playing complementary football, even though it didn't work out. Look at Notre Dame's reaction on their sideline right now. Here's the pit.
Do they come
hard
across?
count again. See if they. Now, they didn't come across. No. They moved, they flinched, but they didn't come across. But I was interested in seeing Notre Dame's reaction. The entire team up on their field congratulating each other after that.
Third attempted 4th down conversion combined, and now Leonard fumbles the snap, picks it up, shows some excellent athletic ability to actually gain 3 yards when it was close to a turnover.
Well, there's a lot that just happened here, but let's go back to the 4th down. This is the fumble in just this previous play. You can see the zone read. He has to overcome his back, who runs over top of him from behind. One of their better plays of the night. Picked up positive yards.
Easy. They got 4. Leonard looping the ball, and the catch is made on the sidelines. They find Cooper Flanagan, who had 1 catch last year, but is stepping up for Mitchell Evans. They pick up 16.
Really nice by Emil Wagner, the right tackle. Really good job of communicating. That time they gave Riley Leonard enough time, and he makes a good throw again to the tight end.
There's a lot happened. I want to show you again the end of that sequence when A&M, I think, thought they had a free play on their 4th down, and Weigman just threw it downfield.
I think you're right. I think he had a free play, and I think the center thought the defensive line jumped, so he snapped the ball.
They didn't jump. Leonard flips it again. All of a sudden, Cooper Flanagan, a big sophomore out of California, De La Salle High School, makes the catch. There's a flag on the near side of the field in the defensive secondary. They run a pick.
Pass interference. Offense, number 83. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It was Jaden Thomas who was out there blocking for Flanagan.
Well, the
getting in
tricky
the way.
thing is with that triple option, when you're not the old school pitching the triple option, but you're throwing it downfield, it's a little bit tricky on the wide receiver because he's reading it. The defensive end collapse. He keeps the ball. Now you saw a cat and mouse game with that safety. If the safety takes the quarterback, which he did, he throws the ball. But by throwing the ball, you got receivers blocking downfield. They're thinking the quarterback's going to run it.
The offensive PI is one of the most damaging penalties in football. It's usually a drive killer. 1st and 25. Leonard goes far side, and they get a nice chunk of the yardage back. Pitch made by Bo Collins.
Talked about the in-game adjustments, especially at halftime. Getting a chance to look to see what might work with anytime A&M plays with his safety in the middle of the field. You leave those corners on islands. Instead of attacking, we keep talking about attacking downfield. Hey, just take those 10 and 12-yard gains with those outs.
2nd and 14.
Now they split the safeties up top.
And the run right downhill. Price makes a cut, gets the edge. Jadarian Price headed for the pylon. Touchdown, Notre Dame. 47 yards, finally. Somebody reaches the end zone. What a run.
Yeah, let's take a look and see how they're able to exploit this. What a play by this offense. Great job of being able to just get this thing going. And, you know, it's the offensive line. They've had such a tough night. This time they're able to get up to that second level and finally give a back some room to run. Accelerating into that second level. We haven't seen it all night.
It's the AT&T quicker, yet Torian York, a reliable tackler. He ran right through the arm tackle of York. Brilliant run by Price, who showed that he can be that home run threat. And Notre Dame, what an eventful couple of sequences. They fail on 4th down.
Confidence.
Irish have the lead for the first time tonight as Jeter's kick is driven into the end zone again. So now Weigman of this offense going to have to take the field suddenly down a touch.
Yeah, big time. I talked about that block by Pendleton, Chris. Watch how this opens up. There's a left guard. But truly, this tackle has to be made by Torian York. Right there, missed tackle. You get up to that next level, a little bit slow and reacting. Jaden Hill, 8. And you cannot give a talented back like Jadarian Price an opportunity with that kind of speed when you get slow to react as a defense. First time we've seen that all night from A&M.
Talked about Jaden Hill, suspended the first half because of what he did a year ago as a Florida Gator, just in the game, and didn't take a great angle there. He's back to the ground with Le'Veon Moss.
How do you respond to your point? You know, it's been a tough game for both these offenses. Notre Dame finally has that moment. Crowd is completely out of this game. How is Weigman going to respond here with this offense going up against a defense that's playing with their hair on fire, playing with a lot of confidence?
Just 144 total yards for the Aggies and those 2 interceptions by Weigman. They bring pressure. Ball is out quickly, and the catch is made by Moss, who cuts it back to the inside. Takes a hard hit, knocked down about 1.5 yards short of the marker by Bowen.
As I sit up here in this first half and get into the second half, is beginning of the 2024 season. But I feel like Moss is their best threat that we've seen because he can do a lot of different things. Tell me a receiver right now that strikes fear in your heart if you're a Notre Dame defense. They're capable. Noah Thomas, Walker, they're all big, rangy receivers, but I don't think they fear these receivers.
Now the matchup between those guys and the Notre Dame secondary has not been favorable for the Aggies at all. On 3rd and short, they try the middle with Amari Daniels, and he bangs forward for a first out of the 36.
And the reason that's important is it allows Al Golden to walk up and take away that running game, to try to take away those short, quick throws to the outside. And until they prove that, hey, you better not leave this guy by himself or you're going to pay for it, till that happens, man, you're going to continue to attack and try to outnumber him.
Long throw to the sidelines, and going down low to make the catch is Walker. Yeah, the receivers have not featured much. Trey Watson, the tight end, he's got the longest reception of the night. Cyrus Allen back or receivers gotten involved, but it's not been very dynamic at all.
And I think the biggest fear Al Golden had is how are we going to match up with his size? Noah Thomas, number 3, 6'6", and Walker at number 9, he's 6'4", but they have really held their own in those matchups.
2nd and 3. Falling for a first down at midfield is Daniels. Trying to grind away on the ground behind that big old line.
Yeah, Fayu, the center who's in the game now for Nebu, he's doing a good job that time of picking up some pressure. Talked about how are they going to answer. So far, looking good here on this drive.
Up to Daniels. Part of the Colin Klein's offense, I know you have a lot of respect for him, is they don't give the defense many tells pre-snap. Similar look, then they run a lot of different running plays off of those looks.
Yeah, it's all connected. That was one of the points that Weigman made was, last few years we've been calling plays, trying to make plays, but now he just feels with Colin Klein, everything kind of fits together. But tonight, it's not fitting together because of what Notre Dame's doing on that other side of the football.
No gain on that play. Now Smith is in the backfield. He's got it, and he's going absolutely nowhere. Donovan Heinisch, the nose tackle, just swallowed him up. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Familiar name, familiar number. Good to see Heinisch getting in there, making a play. They slanted that defensive line. I think it caught A&M by surprise. He's able to fit right through that gap that time, sliver through, get into the backfield.
Smith motions in. Who can make a play in the passing game? 3 receivers bunched left. Irish rush 4. Weigman takes off very quickly and is going to be stopped short. Didn't hang in the pocket very long. Howard Cross brings him down. It's 4th down.
Now it's decision time now for Mike Elko.
Offense out there.
Boy, it seems like all the big decisions in his second half are right exactly in the same spot of the field.
Remember the last 4th down play, they thought they had the Irish in the neutral zone, and Weigman just chucked it downfield. It wasn't a penalty, and they gave up the football.
Showing his backers pressure.
Notre Dame flirted with jumping offside. Now there's a flag. Wow. Looked like he got back.
Full start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
He did get back, and then Crownover jumped. Elko begs to differ.
Bill, look at it. He jumps, he gets back. What do you see here? Jump. Back. Oh, little move there by the
right tackle.
Yeah.
So the defender was fine with his movement, but then the right tackle well after it flinched.
That's really tough. You're not allowed to do any kind of movement, are you, there? You don't have a hand on the ground. You big body trying to keep your balance. So Tyler White into punt, and it's going to bounce into the end zone. Crowd still booing the false start call. So Notre Dame will take over. Up, gets off the field, gets the ball back from the 20-yard line. Final minutes of the 3rd quarter. Leonard behind a block, dives forward. He begins to run the ball more and more in these design runs, and he picked up 7. Irish trying to come in here and win a huge road game in front of the 4th largest crowd in Kyle Field history, more than 107,000 in the SEC's biggest house. Leonard, long throw to the sidelines, almost intercepted as Will Lee jumped the route and had his hands on it, thinking about the end zone.
Remember we talked about when they go with a center field safety, one high look, what are you going to do? You're going to try to pick on these corners with outcuts or quick throws? Tell you what, Will Lee bait that throw. Bait throw that. Stepped in front of it. Ball comes off of Thomas. Almost is able to take it away from him, and he would have walked to the end zone for a pick six.
Off both guys' bodies, off his helmet, and that was potential game-changing play and a dangerous throw by Leonard, who now needs 3 on 3rd down in the final minute of the quarter. Pressure. Ball is out, and it's incomplete. Shamar Stewart hammered the quarterback and forced the quick throw, and he's flexing as the Aggies get off the field.
It's 6 guys up at the line of scrimmage on this 3rd down, and they're going to make this offensive line try to guess where that. Look at this. Who's coming? 6 guys up. 4 of them come. Miscommunication up front. It's a little bit of a guessing game on the road, dealing with that crowd.
Free run, Kirk. Wow.
Big man at 6'6", 290 pounds, untouched.
So Rendell has been solid in his American football debut. To boot it away. It's a low kick. Bussey's got a shot from the 26. And he'll be dropped at the 35. 10-yard return after a 47-yard boot. Talked about the championship game in Atlanta. 142 nights from this evening. The national championship trophy presented by Dr. Pepper will be there that night. Semifinals in Miami and in Arlington. The Irish, if they can hold this lead, we get off to a very strong start. They were given a better than 50% chance by the computer of making the playoff field. A lot of their fans say, okay, the playoff would be nice, but let's make a deep run. Let's, semifinals, championship game type thing. That's what they're hoping for. This is Moss again, and Moss, a nice run for a first down, picks up 12.
That's the athlete. That's the playmaker we just talked about in the last series. Who's the one guy that you feel like at any moment can make a play for this offense? And I think it is 8. I think it's Moss. They line him up mainly in the backfield. That time he had a nice little seam there to get into.
It was the longest run of the night. Now Weigman takes off, and he'll scramble for about 6. We have 4 seconds to play in the quarter.
Notre Dame rotates.
Do it again. Well, we'll start the 4th quarter here. Aggies on the march after the game's first touchdown by Notre Dame. And they hand it off to Moss. And you say that's the guy they're going to have to lean on, Kirk, here in the 4th quarter.
Again, I think he's just got a ability to make people miss. That time, how about the offensive line doing a nice job of pushing? We wondered if the offensive line, who would hold up into the 4th quarter? On both sides of the football with his heat and humidity. Defense has been trying to rotate to stay fresh. A&M that time able to get a great push to help out Moss for that first down.
Offensive line playing without their starting center, Mark Naboo, who has been out. Weigman from the pocket, off the fingertips. They tried to find Moss out of the backfield. Kaiser was in coverage.
And again, just off of his fingertips. Ball just thrown out in front of him a little bit too much.
He is listening to Colin Klein in the helmet. You got to keep it simple for your quarterback as you get into the 4th quarter and the head is spinning and there's more urgency.
How about that? 4 of 13 on passes 5 yards or further downfield.
That's 6 short completions. This is Amari Daniels. A flag comes in as he's met right at the 36-yard line.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense number 56, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Penalties continue to be a problem. That's Howard Cross, who got his hand up into the offensive lineman's face mask.
Chase Pisanis, 6'6", 320, big, powerful left guard. Played at Don Bosco in New Jersey, great program. That time, he and Cross have been going at it. Who's also from New Jersey.
89 yards of penalties for the Irish. The ball moved to the 21. It's a huge number of yards and penalties when you've had a game like this. Weigman throws the far sideline. It's incomplete. Trying to fight back and make the catch was the big tight end from Sweden. They call him Thor Olstrom.
I think Notre Dame may have gotten away with a pass interference here. I mean, He's on the jersey. At least he's looking at the ball. Really, really close there. Bill, what do you think?
That right hand's up on the shoulder, and that could have caused some of that turn.
Yeah.
It was Don Schuler in coverage there on the tight end. Second and 10. Irish are showing pressure. They run right into the blitz, and it's Smith breaking free. Emmitt Smith's son, E.J., sets him up first and goal, ripping off a 14-yarder.
They knew that blitz was coming. They pick it up. They saw it with that hard count. It kind of tipped it. Watch the offensive line do their job. Notre Dame almost ran themselves really right out of that play with a blitz up that in the A gap. They bounced it there to the left, to the outside there. There was just no one there for the defense.
Longest run of the day. Weigman on first down. Long looping throw to the end zone, and out comes a flag. Walker covered by Jaden Mickey. Was it catchable? Penalties again on Notre Dame, helping the Aggies' cause.
Remember, Walker 6'4", Mickey listed at 5'11". I don't know if he is.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7. Foul occurred in the end zone by Wood. The ball is placed at the 2-yard line.
I love the aggressive call by Colin Klein on 1st and 10 after that big gain. They go to the air, to the matchup. Look at the difference in size there and the length that Walker has. Mickey's doing everything he can just to hold on there. And that's where the penalty comes in.
They line up tight end Shane Calhoun as a fullback in front of Smith, who takes the pitch, and he'll be dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. It was Jalen Sneed.
We thought this would be a great battle, the red zone battle. Who's settling for field goals, who's scoring touchdowns. This is only the second time A&M has actually been in the red zone. Earlier, they were in the red zone, and his first drive of the game, Notre Dame won that, forced a field goal.
Colin Klein's Kansas State offense, best in the country in terms of touchdown percentage once they get in the red zone.
And Notre Dame, one of the best last year without Golden defensively.
Strength on strength right now. Second and goal. It's Moss who goes in motion. It's Weigman running all the way, makes a cut, and is hit at the 2. Third down coming up. A lot of quarterback runs in Klein's system down here.
No doubt about it. Drake Bowen here. This is an effort play on the backside. Doesn't give up. Never know where the ball is going to be. Chases it. There's the cutback. Is right there to help out. Nice play. He's actually played very well in his first start.
Sure has. Big shoes to fill. Notre Dame linebackers lost. They lost a couple of good ones to the NFL. What's Klein going to call on third and goal from the 1? Handoff. Moss. Touchdown Aggies. Penalties, a huge part of that drive, but A&M responds and answers. 65 yards in 10 plays. And it's fitting that Moss paid it off. Bond to tie the score. Automatic.
Chris, it's this kind of night for this offensive line. Fayu right here. He's going to do everything.
This is look away for squeamish. I'm sorry. I thought I'd be able to get you a little warning there. That was Weigman coming to the sidelines. He did it again once he got to the sidelines. So you don't have to boot and rally, as we say, when they come back on the field. Something college students do throughout their entire career, actually. Salute to Curtis Wilson, who drove the All-State bus for us for 9 seasons. Caesar's in charge now, but what's your All-State good hands play this week?
Well, here we go. The All-State package here. Vanderbilt takes the lead in overtime. They go up 34-27. Diego Pavia gets them up. Bottom of the first here. How is the Virginia Tech team going to respond? Colin Schlee, 4th and 11, throws it up. And Daquan Felton cannot come down with it. And how about Vandy? Clark Lee with a big upset over the Hokies week 1.
Irish now back to the running game and nothing doing. Shamar Turner, he's tough to run over and run through. Leggy defense feeding off the crowd energy.
Perfect technique here. You know, he played a lot on the edge last year. They moved him to the inside. Look at him extend with his arms. Eyes in the backfield. That is perfect job there in the inside by Turner.
Loss of a yard on first down. Serious noise to deal with now for Leonard. They protect him well. He gets a low throw. Catch made right at the first down marker by Bo Collins. Came back to the football, but it's enough for a first down.
Yeah, he did a really good job of selling this downfield with his length. You got to be worried about that. Boom, puts his foot in the ground, comes back. Good timing. Right at the sticks there for the first down.
They went max protect there. Sent only him really out on that left side.
Yeah,
it worked.
One-on-one matchup.
Leonard steps up again, delivers down the sideline, tried to find Collins again, threw it behind him as Ricks was right with him.
Yeah, I love that they went right back to that. They like the matchup. They got confidence in their guy. He's going to check out of the game, but with his size and length and experience of his days at Clemson, back into the boundary, he's got to win those one-on-one matchups. That time they just missed it. Jaden Thomas comes in for him.
Price trying to get the edge, and he's going to be forced out of bounds for a loss. That was the freshman Ricks, who stayed at home and showed the muscle.
Boy, this defense, man, again, trying to go against his freshman tackle. They go inside here, and they bring the safety down. See that late movement right there? I think it really affected Knapp, surprised him. Love how the safeties keep coming down. Ratcliffe that time, just nowhere to go for Price to run that football.
Crowd is going berserk. There's an Aggie being attended to at the 41, and it is Marcus Ratcliffe.
He has been active. It looks like they're stretching his calves out. He has come down. When Notre Dame's not had anywhere to run the football, it's because we've seen earlier it was Brooks, Ratcliffe who came in for Brooks. Bryce Anderson's had a great game, number one. This defense is dialed in on this Mike Denbrock Notre Dame offense tonight.
No surprise you see cramps on a hot night. And again, Ratcliffe is not really accustomed to playing starter snaps. Forced into duty because of the targeting on Brooks.
I mean, can you ask for much more than this? Opening weekend of the SEC on ABC. Tie score, fourth quarter, 107,000. Here we go.
Leonard, another huge challenge. Converted just once tonight in 9 tries on third. They need 13. Just got to avoid a mistake in this situation if you're the quarterback. And again, it's a mistake up front that'll set him back. One of those first-time starters on the offensive line, sophomore Sam Pendleton.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty.
You brought this up all night. Marcus Freeman brought it up to us throughout the week. You know, penalties, false starts, biggest fear that they had with the inexperience up front. That is a tough thing to do when you can't hear anything. And you're on an island. You see the defense getting up into his face, letting him know about it.
Frankly, almost impossible to convert this third down. So Denbrock told us he was going to be a little conservative in these situations. Just avoid a mistake that could cost you the game here in the fourth quarter. Leonard on the move. Gets the ball out. Greathouse has a convoy. Dances around, but gets back near the original line of scrimmage before Trey Jones knocks him down.
Again, Brooks, Anderson, Ratcliffe, Jones. They got 4 safeties that are playing great football tonight, making plays against the run, making plays in the open field. Easier as a defensive coordinator when you're calling things, when you got guys that have their heads, eyes on the football, run to the football. Look at that. Look how many of those maroon jerseys are all over the place.
Become a busy night for James Rendell. His dad was an Aussie football legend. Never played an American football game until tonight. 24-year-old from Melbourne. Boots hit high. does his job, and it's going to bounce and roll dead at about the 15-yard line. In this field position type game and in their first college games, they've taken care of business. Moss again, he's become the workhorse, but this time the Irish stretch it out and stop him at the line of scrimmage.
It's one of those games, 13-13, 8.5 to go in it. Field position and the punts are critical, and then it comes down to which quarterback can avoid that disastrous play. You know, I mean, Weigman right here with the ball where it is. We've not seen a lot of turnovers. Both these guys have done a pretty good job of protecting the ball. That one ball sailed on him. But it's about not only the balance between being aggressive and being smart. Can't lose the game with 8 minutes to go.
Irish brings some pressure. Weigman backpedals, checks it down, and delivering a huge hit was Christian Gray as Walker made the catch.
Yeah, Notre Dame plays so much man coverage. You know, if this is man, you're okay. That corner's down there sitting and waiting for this throw. Catches Walker by surprise and really catches Weigman, a quarterback, by surprise. You don't want to throw that and lead him into a corner sitting there. But again, Al Golden mixing up coverage from man to zone. I don't think he was expecting the corner Gray to be there. I think he thought he was a man coverage.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 9. Weigman backpedals, throw, catch made, knocked out of bounds right near the marker is Moss. They're going to spot him short.
Yeah, he's short. The ball did not get across. We just keep talking about Moss. Le'Veon Moss is the one guy that can make plays. That ball is thrown behind him. Not quite the presence of mind to realize where he was to try to extend that ball beyond the marker. So you're right. A running back out there trying to be a receiver, catches the ball, but loses where he is on the field, and they're going to come up a half-yard short.
And what a difference, Kirk. Had he had the presence of mind, drive continues. Now Tyler White, who's averaged 52 yards punting, the freshman, the lefty, boots it away, and he will drive returner back and then just lets it go. Number Faison is a regular punt returner. He's out tonight.
Great loss both on and off the field.
I'll talk more about that in a second.
The Irish trying to get a long drive going. Leonard pinballs his way for about 9 yards. Albert Regis knocked him down.
Yeah, just real quick on Rodgers. When I got into the booth with Brent Musburger and, you know, guys like Bill and Rodgers who know these rules better than anybody, we'd have our seminar in August. Rodgers would come in and speak to us. I just recommend to any analyst out there, when you get an opportunity to talk to a person who can be a mentor in that area, boy, there's nobody better. Bill, you're the best too, but boy, Rodgers was just an outstanding person, not just a great official.
Well said. On 2nd and 1, they trap Love behind the line. Scorton, who made his name as a pass rusher, strong in run support. That's a huge play. Sets up 3rd and 5 now.
When he saw the running back move, usually that means the back's going this way, so he's going to chase it. Watch him get underneath that potential block by the tight end, Flanagan, who's coming over. I'll tell you, we think about these guys on the edge as pass rushers because they do such a good job and they make a name for themselves with that. But I'll tell you, a big guy like Scorton, he can get in there against the run and make a big play.
What a play from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 5 as the Aggies trying to get the football back right here.
And Devin Ford in the game there in the backfield.
Play clock at 3. Leonard steps up, delivers a strike for a 1st down. An enormous conversion to Greathouse as they keep the football.
And you know what? Knapp, the left tackle, who's had his hands full, he holds on just long enough against that outside pressure. Good job of giving Riley Leonard on his 3rd down a chance to get his foot in the ground, hitch, step into the throw, and he puts it right on the money. Good job by the line there, and a good throw by Leonard as well.
It's their 2nd 3rd down converted all night. That was a big one. Approaching 4.5 minutes to play. Looking to throw on 1st down. Again, the sidelines, a one-on-one matchup. A battle is won by Bo Collins on the edge as he beat Will Lee. And the Irish are in A&M territory, or close to it.
Boy, he had all kinds of time. They go back to that one-on-one matchup. Pretty good coverage by Will Lee. How about Bo Collins working back to the football? Woo, he better be careful. That could have been 15.
The play's under review. They're going to look at this because there may have been a bobble through the hands.
Okay.
I think it'll review whether or not it was a catch.
And now they're talking. They're still talking.
You're so right, though. After the play,
That could have been 15.
I know Collins is excited, but is shoving the back.
You can't do that. Can't get caught up. I mean, I know get hyped up, but you can't physically push him. I mean, they've been going at it. It's a heck of an effort. High points the ball. The question is, does he have possession when his feet are down before he gets pushed out? Let's watch here, Billy. This will be a good one.
Foot down there. Does he have it? He tucks it there as his feet come up off the
And
ground.
he never lost possession when he hit the ground.
I see the ball moving when he's back up in the air, and then when he comes down, he lands out of bounds. So there's a good chance replay may be changing this to an incomplete pass.
Terrific job to catch the ball as he was being shoved backwards.
I'd say it bobbles there, but does he regain possession while his foot is down?
No, I see him in the air gaining control and then landing out of bounds on his back.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Okay, well, the second time tonight, we thought maybe replay would overturn it. They decide to call that a catch, so it is a 20-yard gain. Very interesting.
Bigger picture comment. The entire focus in the offseason through recruiting in the portal was to get better on the perimeter, better at wide receiver, start to see Bo Collins start to really show what he's capable of doing when defenses are going to leave him one-on-one against corners. He's going to have to win back into the boundary. We're starting to see more of that here in the second half.
Tall, strong guy. He's used that big frame to catch 5 balls tonight. Leonard has become the leading rusher on the Irish, and he scoots for another first down inside the 40. Nice block by Pendleton on the left side there.
Yeah, this is the old pin and pull where you're trying to pin the defense inside here off to the right, pull the lineman around. You got a numbers advantage because you've got the quarterback who's got the legs to be able to run the football. Good block by those linemen. It's fun to see these guys get a chance to pull and get around the corner going up against Will Lee, the corner. Just pushing him out of the way.
Irish in no hurry. They can be very methodical here. 3.5, a couple of timeouts. Love up the middle, runs through a tackle. Jeremiah Love rambling down near the 20s. The Irish are grabbing chunks now. That's 18 more.
They're mixing up the looks here. Mike Denbrock has to be very happy with what he's seeing by this offensive line. We talked all game about the matchup and the inexperience and the talent, but just the youth. I'll tell you what, man, we were watching in his football game. Joe Rudolph, the line coach, got to be really proud of what this group has done collectively. Growing up, came in with 6 combined career starts entering this game. In this atmosphere against this defensive front, there's Joe Rudolph, the line coach. They're stepping up when it matters.
Got some mistakes, no doubt, but beginning to assert themselves. Love again. Knocked down. A drive that began way back in their own 15-yard line. Run 7 plays down in scoring position inside of 2.5 to go.
A&M holding on to their timeouts. You have the 2-minute timeout also.
We're headed to that. They're not going to run a play clearly here. So it's like getting an additional timeout.
How about the big boys up front when the chips are on the table, just stepping up?
Yeah, and Leonard as advertised.
Enough's enough. I can't watch.
Well, their son's game 1 of his 1-year Notre Dame career, trying to drive the Irish for a victory here. Can they finish? 2nd down and 9. Love burst over the middle. Love to the end zone, and the Irish take the lead.
Now Dad's smiling. Again, what a way to finish off this drive. With the way this offensive line on this drive kind of took over. And the backs being able to find just enough room there and acceleration into the end zone.
Taking a while, hasn't it, Kirk, to get this running game going. Jeremiah Love touchdown. Jadarian Price had that long touchdown run. Leonard, for much of this game, has actually led the team in rushing yardage. Final 2 minutes now. Notre Dame once again up by 7. What a drive, 85 yards, Kirk.
Chris, there wasn't a ton of room here. Good block by Pendleton on the inside to kind of get the play started. He's got a good inside block there to get a good push. See the tight end, 87, coming over from the right. Cooper Flanagan to help out. But really, to me, it's about the back and his feet. He's patient, bang, he gets his foot in the ground. Look at that acceleration against those safeties have been making so many tackles. And this time, I think they're surprised by how quickly he shot out of the end at the backside of that hole for this touchdown.
Jeremiah Love makes a living running between the tackles, but he's got that burst too. Here's the progressive pylon cam. As the Irish reclaim the lead. And up in the section featuring the Notre Dame parents, the Leonards, hi!
Let me say this.
Some march.
Let me say this for Texas A&M. Yeah, you're down now, but think about it. I don't think they purposely allowed that, but you got all 3 timeouts, and you're going to get the football back with at least a chance with the 1:54 to go.
So they didn't try to let them score, but it worked out okay, given the fact they preserved some time.
You got a chance here. I don't think they were going to get their hands on the ball. If Notre Dame didn't score, they would have milked that clock down.
Both Notre Dame touchdown runs have come from outside the red zone. And now, Connor Weigman, who was so frustrated by having his season ended early last year, that injury to his foot against Auburn. He's waited 11 months for this moment. It's been tough sledding tonight against this veteran stout defense. Now he's got to go the length of the field to try to tie it.
And I'm going to take the other end of it. Noah Thomas, Janae Walker, Cyrus Allen, Trey Watson, the tight end. Who can get separation? Who can help Weigman out here? It's been a tough night for these receivers trying to make plays. Also, Moss out of the backfield 8 has been mainly their go-to guy most of this game.
Who can beat this elite secondary? Watson, Schuler, Morrison, and Gray. Weigman backpedals and throws it to the bench. Nobody open.
The other thing that's tough is now you're allowing this defensive front. They know you're throwing the football, and they're able to just come up with different games, twists and things of that nature to try to get the pressure and make Weigman feel it and throw off of his back foot.
Not yet engineered a fourth quarter comeback at A&M. Pressure comes. Weigman has time, but again, a miscommunication. Nobody open. Thomas was over there covered by Jordan Clark, and it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Al Golden is not holding back. It's not like Al Golden saying, let's be conservative, let's be smart. He's bringing pressure. He's dialing it up. Not worried about the consequences on the back end because he has that kind of confidence in his ability to cover. And I don't blame him. He should feel that way.
What a luxury to have, right? You can turn loose the pass rush because you trust your DBs that much.
Yep. Even the backer's done a great job. Kaiser walked out.
Try to get it on the ground. And getting out near the marker is Moss. He's a couple of yards short. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, they put that trips formation to the right. Kaiser, the middle linebacker, walked out. They didn't have the numbers inside, so even though it was 3rd and 10, still ran a football and got some big yards. We got another injury here for A&M.
That's Fayu, who stepped in at center when Nebu went out. He's being looked at. So what do you like, Coach? 4th and 2. Quarterback run is always in play in a Colin Klein offense, and Weigman is a willing runner.
Yeah, I think Moss is the answer. If you're not going to run the quarterback to get the extra number, then I think you got to think about 8 because he's been able to shake the linebackers and win some of those one-on-one matchups.
Notre Dame came in ranked preseason number 7 in the All-State AP poll. You can see the competition faced by a lot of these top 10 teams. Georgia, extremely impressive. Miami wouldn't be shocked to see the Canes move up into the top 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone's just kind of, you have your thoughts on who these teams are. Really aren't going to know, to me, until you see them for 3 or 4 times. By the way, this is a story. TJ Shanahan, the true freshman, hadn't taken a snap all game. is now in on this pivotal fourth down play to snap the ball.
Got to have 2 yards. Just 2 timeouts. If they don't convert, it won't be enough. Moss is the back. Trying to get the Irish to jump. They don't. They're going to throw for it. Incomplete. The Irish take over as Christian Gray jumped the route. And this elite secondary makes 1 play to get the football back.
Yeah, Chris, you're all over it. We know about Morrison, we know about Xavier Watts, but tonight we saw an entire secondary from Notre Dame. And here he is. This is going to be a glance route. It's kind of a quick slant. Trying to use this as a rub, but watch the reaction and how he jumps this route to get underneath that potential rub. Gets underneath it, almost steps in front of it. But most importantly, on fourth down, knocks that ball away. And the Irish, wasn't pretty, doesn't matter. Went on the road in a tough environment, and they're going to get a win.
Mike Mickens coaches these DBs. It's a smart, experienced, athletic, deep group, and they have been all over it. The matchup I think they really felt good about was their secondary against A&M's unproven receiving core, clear edge Notre Dame. What do you say?
Oh, a big hit there.
He ended off to Price in the backfield.
He was lucky he held on to that. Scooby Williams blew that up. You know, Marcus Freeman, we caught it there at the end. He said, I told you, referring to his team about move on to the next play. We're going to have some adversity. It's okay. It's part of it. Let's move on to the next play. Let's stay positive. It's been a big emphasis all of camp. How would this young team go into Kyle Field and deal with not being able to communicate? Like we said, it wasn't the prettiest of victories, but they answered the bell when they had to, especially late in that drive where that offensive line stepped up with Riley Leonard. Yeah, here he is right here talking to it. That's after that incompletion. I told you. I told you.
It's got to manage the situation. They lost 4 in that play. Run one more play. The Aggies can spend their final timeout, and then they can bleed it down.
You obviously keep it on the ground and keep the ball in the hands of 13.
It's Love dancing and almost broke free. They're trying to drag him down by the shoe. He burned a few more seconds as he got back near the original line of scrimmage. And the last timeout will be taken with 1:21 to go. Irish will be favored in all the rest of the games. Check the computers' percentage chance to win. I know computers don't decide the games, but check out what's ahead for them. You could look at Louisville, team that beat them a year ago. Georgia Tech, they played
that looks like a
neutral
game,
field.
Right? Yeah, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Florida State, always a tough game. The athletic ability, and Florida State, even with that loss, they're still a great team. Other than that, USC, you go on the road to the Coliseum. You don't have a conference championship game.
That's now rated their toughest game. They only 2 more true road games all year.
Yeah, but this was the big hurdle for them, and I think it got their attention, and a lot of people watched to see who they are as a football team. And like I said, I don't care how it looked. It was about trying to get out of here with a win, and it's not done yet. Minute 21 with A&M out of their timeouts.
So they can run one more play. Reset the play clock and run that down. Love staying alive and falls forward.
Tell you what,
you could trot out the field goal kicker and try to make it double digits.
Tell you the one thing you're able to take away from what you do know about Notre Dame. Got a great defense with Al Golden. I mean, this defense is going to travel. They're going to play well every week. And you got a 3-headed monster in that backfield with Love and Price, but also Leonard in that run game. And Bo Collins and how the receivers grow as a group is going to be the real question on how elite the offense potentially can become as this season goes on.
It's going to be 33 seconds when this play clock runs down. You got Mitch Jeter, who's been a reliable kicker, rarely missed at South Carolina. He's made both of his field goals tonight. You run the risk, obviously, of it getting blocked and run back, but if he makes it, it's ball game.
Well, he's been aggressive pretty much all night as a head coach, right? I mean, remember first drive to start the second half.
Look at that, LSU arriving in Vegas, there are the Trojans making the much shorter trip. Beautiful Allegiant Stadium. You and Holly and Reese Davis. What do you get your eye on there besides the tables in Vegas?
Well, the quarterbacks, replacing Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, a big thing. And also USC made all those changes on defense. Danton Lynn steps in, coming over from UCLA. Anxious to see how much better they are.
So Mitch Jeter from 46 yards. He hit from that same distance earlier. Also had a 26-yard chip shot. Trying to go 3 for 3 and put this one away. Can the Aggies get in there and block it? Create some mayhem. Pick is driven right through. And Notre Dame is going to come to Kyle Field and come away with a huge victory to start this campaign and begin to build their resume as a playoff team.
I love Marcus Freeman's approach as a head coach tonight. Instead of shying away or being ultra conservative, he believes in his guys, goes for it earlier in this game when a lot of people would question deep in his own territory, what's he doing? Aggressive here. Oh boy, what if they blocked the field goal? Oh no, don't do that. He trusts the snap. He trusts the hold. He trusts the kicker. And look, it pays off for him. So kudos to Marcus Freeman, still a young head coach in his third year of believing in his guys in a very, very tough environment. And they come through tonight with a victory.
Yeah, the close call, the troubling ending for Notre Dame fans against Ohio State in last year's opening game. This is another tough assignment. They step up and take the challenge. Most believe this is as tough as it's going to get. Now it's going to be a challenge maintaining focus, managing expectations.
Yeah.
People like us are going to say Notre Dame has the inside track to a playoff, and we're not wrong. They just have to handle business.
Yeah, I think he does a really good job of having the players' ears, though. And I think if you're a Notre Dame fan, your team grew up tonight. And especially that offensive line. There's some question marks about this team. How would Riley Leonard step up? You got a new offensive coordinator. How the new receiver's going to do? Again, it wasn't perfect, but the way they ended up ending this game, I think your team grew up.
In recent years, top 10 teams like Nick Saban and Alabama and Bryce Young had their 19-game winning streak snapped in here. LSU fell in here. Not Notre Dame. They bring the 7th rank in here, and they handled their business despite a lot of mistakes that he knows he has to clean up. Those 11 penalties, almost 100 yards. They hurt themselves, but they overcame it.
I'll tell you, Riley Leonard gives this offense and gives this brand of Notre Dame football a completely different feel. His poise in this environment, his competitive spirit, overcoming some adversity, leading the team. You can see the reaction of the players around him, the coaches. That's special to see.
Not to mention his skill set.
Oh, yeah.
Took care of the football and ran very effectively tonight.
That's what I guess that's what I mean, that element of him being able to be a runner and just a kind of approaches his job as a whatever it takes. I got to throw, I'll throw. I got to run, I'll run. Hand it off, whatever. Let's just win the game.
Can exhale, finally.
Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty, first down.
His Duke season pretty much ended against Notre Dame. There's Denbrock there. Game 1 for him as a play caller. Really had to earn his money because it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
The manufacturer stuff, and they finally got going. 10 points in the fourth quarter, the difference.
That's a football coach right there. That is a football coach. He had Jaden Daniels last year, and now he's in South Bend. He had Desmond Ritter at Cincinnati. He's been around some pretty special players that have that same skill set, run and throw.
The Aggies, meanwhile, it's going to get tougher. They head into the SEC intent on having a strong season in year 1 for Elko, but the schedule is pretty daunting. What do you see from them looking ahead?
Well, I think for Mike Elko, it's not just about tonight. Obviously, it's about building culture and getting a team to be resilient and overcome their own set of things that they've got to deal with. I think the biggest issue is in the SEC, you better find some receivers. I mean, the defenses are only going to get tougher for them. It's not about Connor Weigman. It's about the entire group and especially what they can do to improve at wide receiver.
Weigman bounces the ball into the turf. A&M able to gain just 243 yards, 100 passing yards against this Irish defense tonight.
So coach say run the football. He wants to get out of here. Yeah, had a few other words, but I'll just say run the ball, please. Enough's enough.
Well, they got McNeese Then they got to go to the Swamp. You got Bowling Green, Arkansas, and Arlington. So a chance to get their footing and begin to figure out what they've got on offense. But Riley Leonard and the Irish come on the road, and it's their first win away from home against a